A Mortal's Journey to Immortality Episode 304. In the previous episode, Han Li quietly observed the growing assembly of powerful cultivators at the entrance of Devilfall Valley. Across the mountains, green-robed warriors prepared spell formations. A Taoist priest unleashed ancient nascent soul puppets, and 3 mysterious figures sped toward the valley unseen. Han Li sensed over 1,000 cultivators, many hiding dangerous abilities, and carefully measured the ominous entrance. Blocked by a spiritual restriction he dared not pierce. Suddenly, the arrival of the Molan spell warriors in a massive silver carriage shocked everyone, their presence defying old rivalries. Not long after, over 100 black-clothed cultivators of the Ghost Spirit Sect descended calmly, led by their deputy sect master and 2 nascent soul experts, each emanating a threatening aura. Han Li's gaze swept across the leaders, assessing threats and recalling past battles, realizing the true danger of the gathering. What will happen next? Stay tuned. And the story continues. The Ghost Spirit Sect's Taoist shattered soul hadn't come. To Han Li's surprise, this unfamiliar old man came in his place. Han Li observed him carefully, noting the subtle differences in aura and manner compared to what he had expected. Despite this, the arrival of 3 nascent soul cultivators from the Ghost Spirit Sect was already a significant show of strength. Even for a sect as large as the Ghost Spirit Sect, sending 3 nascent soul cultivators to oversee Devilfall Valley suggested that this mission was important. Yet Han Li could not help but wonder if the sect had made other preparations, something hidden from the eyes of ordinary cultivators. As Han Li stood there, contemplating the situation, the Ghost Spirit Sect cultivators hurriedly scattered around the entrance of the valley. They began to set up a massive spell formation, working in tandem with a precision that reflected years of practice and coordination. The surrounding cultivators maintained a respectful distance, watching silently without interfering. Nearby, the Molan spell warriors had also gathered, with their leaders, a scholarly man surnamed Zhang and the formidable spell warrior Le, whispering to one another as they observed the scene. Han Li's eyes were fixed on the spell formation. At first, he remained calm, analyzing the arrangement. Yet moments later his expression shifted. Something had caught his attention in the sky. A sudden flash of light streaked across the heavens like a bolt of lightning, scattering clouds with unstoppable force. The other cultivators present also noticed the astonishing phenomenon, their eyes widening in shock. Within an instant, the white light dissipated to reveal an azure-robed old man descending gracefully above the valley entrance. His expression completely unreadable. Wei Wuya! Several voices exclaimed simultaneously. The crowd murmured with surprise, realizing that a representative of the 9 Nations Union had arrived. Could it be that they are also determined to acquire the treasures of Devilfall Valley? The whispers spread rapidly. Wei Wuya landed calmly in front of the Ghost Spirit Sect's representatives. The middle-aged elder with a stern expression immediately greeted him warmly, smiling and offering a salute. "Brother Wei, you have finally arrived. I feared that other matters may have delayed you, or we would have had no choice but to postpone our entry into the valley." Wei Wuya's gaze remained cold and impassive. "Since I have made an agreement with fellow Taoist Wang, I will not change my mind rashly. However, you should speak honestly. If the valley does not contain the treasures you have described, do not blame me if I become hostile." The middle-aged elder ignored Wei Wuya's caution, continuing to speak politely. "Be at ease, fellow Taoist, I would never deceive you." His words, however, did little to ease the tension, and nearby cultivators watched in astonishment. Wei Wuya, the Grand Elder of the 9 Nations Union, was now apparently aligned, at least temporarily, with the Devil Dao, a sight few could believe without witnessing it firsthand. Han Li frowned. The sudden appearance of Wei Wuya meant that if he were to engage the Ghost Spirit Sect inside Devilfall Valley, his only realistic option would be to retreat, for Wei Wuya's presence added a level of strength he could not easily challenge. His attention then shifted to the scholarly man surnamed Zhang, noting that without other late nascent soul cultivators entering, these 2 figures would be among the strongest present. The Molan divine sage observed Wei Wuya silently, his thoughts concealed, while spell warrior Li's face showed a flicker of surprise. Despite the shock caused by Wei Wuya's arrival, all eyes remained on the Ghost Spirit Sect disciples as they continued their work on the spell formation. Half a day passed, and the formation had grown to span over 300 meters in width. Han Li's bewilderment deepened as he studied it. The arrangement resembled a fragment of an ancient transportation formation he had studied long ago. Yet subtle differences suggested it had been modified, some parts simplified. Others made more intricate. Though Han Li had formidable skill in deciphering spell formations, this complex setup could not be unraveled quickly. He furrowed his brows, pondering the possible functions and outcomes. 2 hours later, the formation was finally complete. The Ghost Spirit Sect disciples began positioning mid-grade spirit stones around it. Standing at the center, Wang Tianggu materialized with a blur. He opened his storage pouch and retrieved a jade box, inside of which lay a golden-yellow spirit stone that radiated intense spiritual energy. A high-grade spirit stone, someone shouted in astonishment. Han Li's own expression shifted. High-grade spirit stones were incredibly rare, and their spiritual power could equate to nearly 100 mid-grade spirit stones. Yet their market value far exceeded that equivalence. High-grade spirit stones were mostly hoarded by large sects, used sparingly to empower significant spell formations or to supply nascent soul cultivators with immense spiritual energy. Peak-grade stones had already vanished in antiquity, now existing only in legend. The appearance of one now, placed carefully at the heart of the formation by Wang Tianggu, signaled the Ghost Spirit Sect's utmost seriousness. It explained, too, why their Devilfall Medallions commanded such high prices. Entry into the valley was treated with the highest level of preparation and investment. After positioning the high-grade spirit stone, Wang Tianggu returned to the side of the middle-aged elder and whispered something brief. Receiving a nod in response, at the command of the elder, the Ghost Spirit Sect disciples withdrew from the formation, producing faint yellow formation flags which they raised simultaneously in a precise, synchronized pattern. The spell formation began to glow subtly, as if gathering and focusing energy. Han Li's gaze fell upon the middle-aged cultivator, wondering whether this figure might be the true sect lord. Given the deference shown by Wang Tianggu, suddenly, black spiritual energy wrapped around the elder's body as he rose into the air. I am the Ghost Spirit Sect's Wang Tiansheng, the master of this sect. I will not speak unnecessarily. The path into Devilfall Valley has been established, and the spatial tiers have been stabilized. Our sect's masters have created a unique transportation formation to allow easy entry into the valley. He paused, letting the weight of his words sink in. This transportation formation is unusual. It requires a metal attribute high-grade spirit stone to activate. We have brought such a stone out of great generosity, yet it limits the number of people who may enter. Those in possession of a Devilfall Medallion may use the formation regardless of their affiliations. I hope fellow Taoists will not find this objectionable. Wang Tiansheng's voice grew firmer. There are additional matters to clarify. This is a one-way transportation formation. The teleportation destination is not fixed, and there exists a very small possibility of entering a spatial tear. Should this occur, it is a matter of luck, and we bear no responsibility. This formation was hurriedly constructed, and certain risks are unavoidable. Those unwilling to face these dangers should not attempt to use it. Without a Devilfall Medallion, no one may attempt to bypass the system. After all permitted travelers have been teleported, the formation will be destroyed. A young cultivator called out from the forest. Since this is a one-way transportation formation, how will we return? Will your sect set up another formation inside? Several others nodded in agreement, questioning the implications. Han Li smiled coldly at the practical concern, his mind already racing through potential strategies and contingencies. Wang Tiansheng's expression remained unreadable as he answered. There is no need for this fellow Taoist to worry. From what I know, Devilfall Valley has many ancient restrictions that may prevent you from entering the valley. But there should be little resistance in preventing you from leaving. There may even be ancient transportation formations that are intact inside the valley. If so, it should be a simple matter to use them to leave. In this episode, We saw Han Li arrive at Devilfall Valley and witness the Ghost Spirit Sect setting up a massive and complex transportation spell formation. The appearance of Wei Wuya from the Nine Nations Union surprised everyone, showing just how high the stakes were. We also learned that a rare metal attribute high-grade spirit stone was used to activate the one-way formation, allowing only those with a Devilfall Medallion to enter. While the formation makes entry possible, the destination is uncertain, and there is a small risk of encountering spatial tiers inside the valley. This episode highlights the danger, strategy, and rare treasures awaiting inside Devilfall Valley. What happens next? Stay tuned for the next episode of Immortal's Journey to Immortality. If you enjoyed this episode or found it interesting, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to receive the latest updates on Han Li's journey. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.